It's 10:30. It's SPTV. What more were you looking for to start your week than to join SPTV here live on Facebook and YouTube? My friends, welcome, 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 one and all. It is a pleasure to be back. I am sorry that I missed you last week. And we had such plans too. Thank you for everyone who sent me the well wishing. I am now completely negative of any disease. I am back. I am loud. I am brash, just how I'm supposed to be. Thank you for joining us here. I've got Mr. Richard in the background whispering in my ear sweet nothings, and the world of spirit in that ear whispering sweet nothings. So I know we are going to have a great, great time here on SPTV. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, join in the conversation. This is your show. So steer the direction of conversation. I might have an idea of what I want to talk about. I usually do, but you might have other plans and it's your show. So do join in the chat, join in the debate, get your opinions and thoughts aired. There's going to be mediumship, there's going to be chat, there's going to be some lovely announcements as always. I'm going to be joined by the wonderful Kate May for her tarot scope. It's going to be a great show. And I'm on my own again. Here I am again on my own. But Richard is looking after me in the background, and you never know, he might come and say hello or he might not. It's up to him. But it is a pleasure to have everyone here, both on Facebook and YouTube. And if you do watch on the website, let us know that as well. So welcome one and all. We're going to have some messages. We're going to have conversation. And like I said, you steer the debate. This is your show. So welcome one and all. And in actual fact, let's do some proper welcoming and see who is live with us here on SPTV this fine morning. Well, isn't that serendipity? In actual fact, it is Serendipity 589. Hi, everyone. Good morning to you coming in on YouTube. Welcome to the show. Good morning. Well, let us know where you are as well, so I can say good morning or good evening, depending on the time of day. Christine Davis, good morning to you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see the purple flowers still there. Marissa Serafino from Northern California. Welcome to the show. I do love that lovely bridge emoji. I like that. Oh, I'm going to have to look for that one. Welcome, my darling. Good to see you. And Jessica Wynn, hello to you. Welcome to the show. Good to see you. Smiling. Like to see smiles. Let's have some smiles. Let's have some hearts. Joy Howell from London. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. And Dawny. Good morning, my dear. Dawny Walden, welcome. I missed all of you too, is the honest truth. It was very, very boring last Monday. Fortunately, all I could do was sleep. Kelly Raquette, good morning. I love the stars. Good to see you, my darling. Welcome along. Good evening, I believe, as well. Paul Goyshard, welcome to the show. I'm not so bad, my friend. I hope you're well. Good to see you along. Lynn Beth Ritten, a newbie. Hey, welcome, newbie. I remember when I was a newbie. It was just over a year ago, believe it or not. And I never left. Much to many people's chagrin, I'm sure. But welcome along. There will be messages, there'll be chat, and do join in the conversation, Lynn Beth. And you're very, very welcome. Always good to see new voices. Please, though, please, we don't charge, we don't ask for stars, but we do ask if you share and let other people know that you're watching, or at least let other people know that we are here. And that way we can share the love, share the joy, and share the wonder of spirit coming through. So welcome, Lynn Beth. You're very, very welcome. Good to see you. Anybody else out there? Oh, I can hear it. I can hear him tapping away. But it's very important. Whilst this young man is tapping away, it's really important to remind you all, we do not ask for stars. That message that you're seeing has been plonked there by Facebook. We're not signed up to it. Do not send stars. Just share, like, and react and converse. That's all we ask. Limo de Pimo, good morning to you and welcome to the show. Good to see you again, dear. Hope you're doing well. A quick sip there whilst it's chundering along. Julie Burgoyne, good morning from Scotland. Hey, wonderful. Terry, no more a postage stamp. I know what you look like in real life. Good morning, Terry. Good to see you. Terry, my new friend. I'm sure Terry knows that she's safe. Alicia Taylor, good morning. Oh, it's going to be fun today. I do know it. Good morning, Alicia. Welcome to the show. Oh, hello. There I am. I'm overlapping this. Oh, that's better. I hate seeing myself that big. You know, no, I prefer being a postage stamp when it's me. You know. There we are. I can see what's going on there. But welcome, Alicia, and I hope I've pronounced that correctly. You know, really important to get people's names right. Chrissy, welcome, hello, and I love the dolphins. Me and my other half, we used to have a big painting of dolphins that I painted on the bedroom wall. It's been replaced by a photo now because it wasn't that good a painting. Denise Barker, good morning from Swaffham. Hello, Denise, long time no see. Swaffham is a beautiful church, beautiful group of people. We had some fun when I was last there. If you're in the Swaffham area, do go along and support that church. Karen Bullitt, hi from New Zealand. And that little puddy tat with his glasses on is just so darn cute. Welcome to the show. Good to see you. Kaza is definitely in the house. Good to see you, Kaza. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You always know the day's beginning when you see Kaza's in the house. Rebecca Whelan and the Purple Hearts. Good to see you, my lovely. Welcome along. Jenica Slamon, good morning. Another newbie, first time here. Well, you're very, very welcome. And I'll explain to you how it works. You share, let the whole world know that we're here. And there'll be messages in chat. Enjoy the conversation, join in the conversation, and you're most definitely welcome. Elizabeth King, good evening from Australia. Jenny Morin, good morning. Welcome to you, and welcome to everyone that I don't get to mention because, you know, we'd be here all day. Lynn Williams, first time here from New York. Welcome all the way from New York. Welcome to you. And Sarah Lou, hello to you. Lovely two big red hearts there. Good to see you all. Welcome along. And thank you for joining us here this fine morning. Well, we have got so much to get through today. We're going to talk about those beautiful, beautiful SPTV Divine Oracle cards. We are going to talk about who's coming up tonight. We've got Kate May. We've got an expose on all what's coming up this week with the adverts, as we normally do. What I'd like to begin with, if I may kick off the conversation, and I really do want your thoughts on this, is one of the things that I've seen recently on the internet. And to an extent, Richard and I were talking about this a little bit before the show began, as we frequently do have a chat. This way of life is so beautiful, so special. And technology has helped move forward the advancement of the way we communicate, the way we reach each other. I mean, let's face it, someone new from New York, we've got Australia, we've got New Zealand, we've got Swaffham, all online joining us today. It's an amazing thing. But what have we lost that you want back in this way of life? We were talking earlier on, Richard and I, about the Psychic News, a weekly national newspaper for spiritualism, founded by the lovely Maurice Barbanel, who was also the medium behind the trance communications of Silver Birch, a being that showed itself as a Native American. Although, if you've read the teachings of Silver Birch, Chapter 1, you'll know that that was not its true identity. However, a very famous and prolific giver of spiritual philosophy was Silver Birch through Maurice Barbanel. But what he also did was come up with a national newspaper that was weekly, and there were pages and pages and pages of news and views and thoughts on this way of life, the psychic and the spiritual. It was a very fair, even balance. Somewhat might say a little bit like SPTV. But that no longer comes out as a weekly newspaper. I believe there's a magazine now, but we've lost that weekly input of church news, of mediums' views, of philosophy. Colin Fry was a columnist of the Psychic News, and he went on to have TV shows and be very well renowned, bless his heart. But that newspaper no longer exists. The question that there is, of course, the SPTV magazine online, which I've even got a couple of articles in there, looked after by the lovely Joanne. But what have we lost? Why do you think we've lost it? Is it to do with just the changing times and the advancement of technology, the fact that you can now get everything at your thumb? I'm not even going to say fingertips, because most people just use a thumb. Have we lost some things in technology that we should work harder to bring back? When you look around and see on the internet, and particularly on Facebook, not so much on Twitter, or what used to be called Twitter anymore, when you look around, you see that we've lost so much, and yet that information is still out there. But is it not grouped together properly? Is it not communicated, or is it just not what people want anymore? And if so, why? Because I believe there's a need for it. SPTV, in my view, proves that. But what are your thoughts? What have we lost? Is losing a weekly national newspaper that represents our views, is that a great loss? I personally think it is. What are your thoughts? Mavis McDonald, good morning to you. You didn't miss your name mentioned. It was up on my screen ready to say hello to you, and there you are. Look, good morning, Mavis McDonald. Good to see you, and welcome to the show. So, friends, share your thoughts. Terry, this comment really does. And this is not Terry Louise. This is Tuakia Mitchell. Did I get that right? Terry Tokia Mitchell. If I get that wrong, I do apologise. Definitely social skills for the younger generation. I agree that there are a lot of social skills required within mediumship. Do we single out the younger generation? No. There's a question for you. I'm going to say I think every generation could probably do with some social skills these days. I don't think, in my personal view, and certainly from my experience, that singling out one generation of mediums for a lack of social skills is probably appropriate, because I know a lot of older generation ones that could probably do with some too, and I have to work on mine every single day. But what I do agree with you is that social skills side isn't as prevalent in development these days, because it's all bang 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 bang, and social skills as part of development full stop, I think, is something that should definitely be at the very least considered and shoehorned in. Definitely. That's a very, very good point. What does everybody else think? Social skills. one of the things that I always say, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's not the mediumship that takes time to develop. It's the ability to communicate with human beings, and that ability to not only get that information through to the individual in front of you, but the way you get it through to that individual in front of you. And I think that that is something that has predominantly fallen by the wayside. So I totally agree that social skills, um, generation of mediums is how I prefer to use the term, because, for example, I'm coming up to 45 at the end of next month. Most of those that I sit, thank you, Richard. He just said that's old. Most of the most of the people that I work with in development are actually older than me. Some not much, some a little bit more. But I prefer to use the term generation of mediums, because the role of any medium that sits and works in development, in my view, is to make the next generation of mediums better than the next. And better than the last, I apologize. So I prefer to use the term generation of mediums rather than generation of age, because, as I said, I'm helping to develop individuals that have been in this way of life as long as I've been alive, which is a scary thought, but also probably scarier for them. Mavis McDonald says, I don't allow any computers in my library. Wow. How do you get on? I'd be interested to hear more about that. Is it something that's welcomed? I'd imagine for those that love books and love paper and the smell of paper in particular and the feel of a book in your hand, I'd imagine they probably enjoy it. But what is the interactions that you have related to that? Is it surprised? Is it joyful? Let us know in the comments, Mavis. Sarah McGeechee says, I think it comes down to a lack of proper training and learning about oneself. I love that. That is awesome. Absolutely agree with you. Jessica Wynn says, I believe that 2, maybe 3 years ago, I lost my social skills because a lot of traumatic event that had happened that I'd put myself into without knowing. But I've worked this year on my social skills. That's actually a very good point. Experience does change our behaviors. And sometimes we do have to think of ourselves. It's about finding that balance, I would say. Thank you for your comment, Jessica. And Tony Copins says, yes, totally agree. General of mediums, it makes sense. Yeah, it's always dangerous, isn't it, to single out one particular group of mediums. And I absolutely agree. In general, I think we all need to be a little bit more aware of, as Jessica said, ourselves. And good on you, Jessica, for fighting back, and well done. And thank you, Tony. Julie Caswell says, I think what was great with the weekly paper was that it was on newsstands everywhere for all to see. Absolutely. It was actually really joyful when I was first developing. You'd go in on a Thursday night and see the latest week's psychic news is laying on the table as you walked in the door, and then go to the shop the next morning and see a few laying in the local news agents. It was nice. It really was quite uplifting, and it made that feeling of being mainstream a little bit more tangible than the electronic versions that we now have. That sense of being in front of you, like I was saying about Terry Louise no longer being a postage stamp. So I think that's that tangibility, which is probably what Mavis meant about doing away with the computers in the library. I'd really like to hear more about that. Kelly Roquette says, I lost my social skills due to trauma and have been trying to improve as well, Jessica. It's interesting that trauma reduces social skills. And I think we should probably specify what we mean by social skills. I think there's a difference between being able to interact with people than struggling to interact with people as opposed to not wanting to. I think there's a big difference there. And for those that have experienced trauma, I would say, in my view, it's more about the struggle rather than the not wanting to. And I think one of the biggest problems is the not wanting to rather than the struggling with it. Because if you struggle with something, you're going to make an effort to do something about it, as both of you that have mentioned it have. So I would say go a little bit easier on yourselves. Janelle Nate Smith says technology has been a downfall for social skills. People don't have to face communication, so they lose that part of intimacy between each other. That's a really, really good point. Oh, right. Absolutely, absolutely. Richard's just added to your point, Janelle, which is a really, really valid one, I think. Not only have you got that technological lack of face to face communication, you've also got, as Richard's just pointed out, coming out literally today on Windows 11 and other operating systems. You've got this AI interest where it's filling in the blanks for you and writing. You give the AI a sentence or two, and it will write the whole letter. It's removing effort and it's removing creativity. Thank you. It's removing creativity from people. And I think that it does lead to an element of laziness and that wanting everything, straight away. And that's something that we see an awful lot in spiritualism and in this way of life. Is that everyone wants to be a medium yesterday? Everyone wants a message straight away. Some people don't even say hello first. It's like, where's my message? Um, and that happens a lot everywhere. But that lack of creativity is very dangerous to the development of mediumship because we need that social interaction. We need those people skills, but we also need creativity. And to an extent, that ease of use is removing the ability to create, to grow, to embrace each other. The one thing that I will say is that the use of technology to communicate, particularly when the pandemic came along, proved that there is a desire for communication because it was our only way. And more people jumped online and got involved. And I know, for example, SPTV was around a lot longer than the pandemic. Our church in Littleport was broadcasting the first half of the service for about 3 years before the pandemic. For those that were unable to get out and be physically communicative, just so that there was an ability to communicate. But when it becomes the be all and end all and replaces that physical interaction, that hug at the end of the service, or that hug as people walk in. I'm a hugger, don't mind admitting it. I think Richard brought a crucifix and some garlic when he came to Little Port to meet me for the second time, just to make sure that I kept my distance. But I am naturally a very tactile hugger. Um, he also brought a packet of Kleenex to wipe up the slobber from my wet kisses, apparently. Um, but I am a very tactile person, and being empathic, a lot of people in spiritual walks of life and spiritual ways are naturally very empathic and therefore very tactile. And I think if we lose that, we lose a huge chunk of who we are. Um, But there we are. Mavis McDonald says, son, I might be old fashioned. I'm 82 years young. I refuse to bring in this modern technology. My five regular members and I read a book, and we are very happy individuals. I'm not knocking you. I will be perfectly honest. There was and this is something that probably Mavis will remember. There was talk at one time that ebooks would replace paper, and I went absolutely hysterical because I am a tactile person. The tangible feel of a book in your hand gives you that connection with the source of that information. So, Mavis, I am absolutely with you. And if that makes me old fashioned too, then let's be old fashioned together. I've been described as old fashioned, and I've been described as an awful lot more. But thank you for explaining, about your library. And I think that sounds amazing, and keep up the good work, because I love books. And here's the thing, going back to what Richard was saying about AI, people are now writing books with AI, and that there are workshops on YouTube and other sources saying, if you do this, and this, you can publish a book in about a week and make a huge fortune from it. But you've not put creativity into that. It is, for me, absolutely horrific. I've been sitting writing my book for about 20 years, and I will take another 10. Oh, fabulous. Yeah, 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 yeah. Fabulous. Update from Richard, and I know my newest friend Mavis is going to love this. That comment about AI authors is on the change, and the paper is winning again, because that's how I felt when book sales went back up after the bubble burst on ebooks. Not that I'm saying that they're not useful, they are, but I prefer a proper book. Apparently, due to a lot of lawsuits and a lot of legal action, a lot of publishers are now requiring authors to prove that there is no AI content in their books. Please let that become absolutely, absolutely right across the board. It's in the courts at the moment now, Richard's telling me, and I really, really hope that works, because it's taking the creativity out of what we do. Um, so there we are. Thank you for that, Richard. I'm glad about that. That's made my day. Nolene Parker says, due to a lack of technology in my house, when my daughters were growing up, social skills were instilled in them from a very early age, and then in turn have instilled those skills in their children, to the point that I say to them, they would talk 10 foot underwater with a mouth full of marbles. Brilliant. All of my children and grandchildren are wonderful communicators. That is brilliant. 10 foot underwater with a mouthful of marbles. I'm going to give you credit, but I'm going to steal that. I love that. And I think that's really important. If we, like, for instance, with the AI and with the onset of want it now, we lose our creativity. And I think that is where every walk of life, not just our way of life, needs to be very careful with technology. I think it can be a great tool, but the tool is used by the individual, not the other way round. For example, Tony Copin says, see, we don't have anything like SPTV in New Zealand, as far as I know. Well, that's why SPTV's here, and it's, we're getting a lot more interaction from the lower hemisphere, on the opposite side of the planet from where I am, and it's brilliant. It really, really is, and that's the joy of technology, is that it brings people from all around the world together in common cause and intent. So We'll be here for you. We'll be here for you. Terry Louise says, I don't like ebooks and can't read them. Proper books all the way for me. I am with you. Terry, shall we go and visit that library that Mavis has got? Oh, proper library. May they continue. Eunice Spinks, as spirit can and do interfere with, this is good. As spirit can and do interfere with electronic devices, do you think they can interact or interfere with AI also? That is excellent. And for example, Jake, the earliest method of, I'm going to go back in history and I'm going to be very, very quickly with this. In ancient times, we used to pick up a book, open it at a random page and ask spirit to pick out a passage for us, and ask for a message to be given. We used to do that with books of poetry and hymn books. Even before that, it was the Bible. Now you ask a radio for a message through a song, and it always has a really, really good hit rate, because spirit know you're going to ask and know to prompt you to ask at the right time or stop you flipping the page at the right time. Can spirit have an influence and interfere with AI? For example, Jake, one of my fellow co-hosts on SPTV. Obviously, a lot of what is put into Jake is, correct me if I'm wrong, Richard, there are certain parameters inputted into that artificial intelligence so that it operates within the bounds of what the creator of that particular application wants it to do. However, there is enough looseness that spirit can make use of all of those parameters that Richard and those that, there's Jake, look, hello, handsome. All of that information has been inputted into that particular program, and spirit absolutely, just like the books, just like the radio, just like the playlists, can have an input, I'm sure, on that. But I think it's important, again, that the creative side of it comes from us, because we are, by very nature, singers, shapers, dreamers, and makers. And if we allow that particular skill set to be taken over by something that someone else has created, it takes away our own individual creativity, and it becomes very samey in that sense. I'm hearing a but from the voice in my ear. Yes, I have seen this myself. Absolutely. Absolutely. So Richard's just mentioned, and I did see someone who works like this the other day on a feed that I had, where you can input into this software your own lyrics, and it will create the music with it. So there is human input there. And that is, once again, using a human being's creativity, where perhaps the ability to speak or work with someone who would normally, I mean, for example, you've got Elton John and Tim Rice that would often collaborate. You've got beautiful music, for example, like John Williams, for example, from my favorite show, Babylon 5. You've got yeah, you've got the guy who did Babylon 5, who was in Tangerine Dream. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I'll have a look in the break. He would collaborate with what the creator of the original source wanted and add their own flair to it. If you have not got the ability to collaborate someone who is very tuneful, for example, why should someone who is an excellent poet and lyricist, who is absolutely tone deaf, not be able to create a masterpiece of music. And if that software and that program can help, maybe with a little bit of spirit input, they can bring enjoyment and pleasure. But I think the predominant thing must be that the initiation should come from within us. And like I said, a tool does not decide where to dig. The, for instance, if it's a spade, the spade doesn't decide where to dig, you do. The knife doesn't decide where to slice that piece of carrot, you do. And I think it's important that tools are there to create. And if we use them to express ourselves, then social skills fall well and truly into line. Very, very good point, though, Eunice. I think spirit definitely, like, for instance, with the books and the music, can have an impact on that. And certainly anyone who's used to come to the old church that we had in Littleport on a Thursday night when we had hymns would know that definitely spirit like interfering with electronics, because we never could play our hymns properly, bless him. But there we go. Thank you all for such a wonderful conversation. It led into AI, you see there. And of course, my colleague of a not so physical nature, sound familiar? Jake is always working very, very hard in his electronic format in the background, bringing messages. And here's an interesting one, actually. Christine Davis, talking of AI input without being totally in charge. It was fun last night choosing the cards. Now, Christine is in actual fact talking about the divine oracle cards. If you haven't heard about them, where have you been? I'm sure Richard has, you have a video, don't you? Richard has a video. So rather than me sitting here waffling on, let's have a look at a video and we'll talk about these beautiful cards after this. Oh, no, I'm going to keep talking because he's brilliant. I caught him out, didn't I? Very naughty of me. Bad Nick. So the Divine Oracle cards are. I was just wondering. Bad Nick. I do like a slap now and again, just as long as it's gentle. The Divine Oracle cards are amazing, and they have been created with human mind in control of technology. Have a look at this, my friends. It's gorgeous.
The sptv Divine Guidance Oracle Pack, a unique blend of inspiration and artistic beauty. Our captivating set of 78 cards combines the power of ancient archetypes, celestial guidance, and the essence of life itself to provide you with a unique tool for self-discovery, clarity, and transformation, all lovingly housed within an exclusive rigid box. The pack includes a booklet that delves into every card in detail, some of which carry dual meanings for deeper interpretation. The booklet also features 8 distinctive card spread layouts. Among these treasures, you'll discover 22 major arcana, 9 main archangels, 4 elements, and 40 life cards, each a work of art, radiating beauty and delivering profound messages that resonate deeply within your being. The sptv Divine Guidance Pack, where beauty meets enlightenment. Pre-order today and unlock the extraordinary wisdom that awaits you. To be among the pioneers in experiencing our forthcoming collection and to reserve your pack in advance, as well as to access more details, including a sample audio description, kindly visit sptv.uk/cards.
Fabulous. Look at those gorgeous cards. They are wonderful, and I do want to mention that they are, as the advert says, available to pre-order through the system of. It's going to cost a lot of money to get them launched, and so using what program is it? What website is it again, Richard? It's just slipped. Sorry. sptv.uk. You can find out all the information on there. But we're doing a crowd fund to raise the money. By you pre-order it as part of the crowd fund, and then when we are able to afford to have them printed, they get sent out. But this is the important bit. We've got a minimum number that we need to reach in order to get them done. So if you're interested in different types of Oracle cards, not last week, because obviously I wasn't here, but the week before and the week before that, I used them, albeit online. They are wonderful cards to work with. They're great for those that consider themselves an advanced state of development. But do you know what? They are brilliant for people who've never used them before, because there is just so much detail and so much depth within those cards. And there's just so many of them. They are brilliant. So why would you not want to get yourself a pack? I've just paid myself, so I'm definitely going to be getting a pack later on this afternoon, or at least putting my name down for one. So do support SPTV by going along and getting yourself in the list, because they are great. And that's where you can find the balance of human creativity with technology. And I think there was Christina's mentioned that there was fun last night choosing the cards. This is how much human interaction is involved. Richard's going to come on and explain to those that weren't there last night exactly what happened, because it was brilliant. And if I may be bold enough to say, it's at the core of what SPTV does. Richard, are you there?
No.
Good
morning, everybody. Good morning. Hope everyone is well today. How's you?
So last night, I'm great, thanks. Yourself?
Yeah,
living
I'm
the
doing
dream?
really well. I'm always living the dream. Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
Yeah.
So last night there was a card choosing. Would you like to tell those watching what happened?
Yeah, it was open to the VIPs. As you know, if you're VIP, you get exclusive activities, events, workshops, talks, mediumship readings, one-to-one readings, all sorts of things. And one of the perks is helping us improve SBTV and what we can offer. And one of the ideas, we've created these 78 cards. 75 are the major arcana, the elements card, and we've introduced something called the life pack, where it could be anything from anxiety to relationships to financial to medical. It's all everyday life cards. So it is a bit different, it is a bit unique. And they all have, we call it Divine Pack because we've put every card is an angel. But then we had 3 cards which are completely blank with no names to them, because what we thought was to be unique. So every card you look at has always got numbers, always got a name to the card. And sometimes the reader may look at the card and may not agree with the terminology or the wording that's in there. So what we thought is that we have 3 blank cards, so the person who is doing the reading can use those cards for whatever they want it to be. Does that make sense? Yeah?
Absolutely.
So you might see a card and go, okay, that card to me is fire. Where this other card, because it's blank, you may see something else, a symbol in there, which means to you. So you can give it whatever name you want. And that name can be changed. So that card might come up in a pack and you might see something different. So all of a sudden, that card becomes something else in there. Okay? Your mum's done a message. She goes, if you order them, Nick, I will buy them for your birthday.
Oh, look at that. Isn't that sweet? Thanks, Mum.
Joy asked a question. Does a tarot reader have to read them for you? No. The actual pack comes with a booklet with all the descriptions, but it's how you interpret the card. So last night we got all the VIPs were invited along, and about 12 turned up, and we had a good lengthy discussion of what cards can go in. So out of like 68 cards, we narrowed it down to about 8. Then it was now down to about 5, and then it was now down to 3. So we thought I'd come on today and show you the 3 cards that the VIPs has chosen, and it would be nice to see what everybody who's listening and watching, what you think the card represents. Okay.
Absolutely
So
great. And that really does tie in with what Joy asked, and your answer. Absolutely. And the reason behind these blank cards, sometimes, certainly when I pick up a deck, if there are too many words, I virtually never read the book. I don't throw it out, I keep it on a shelf, and I'll have a look from time to time if I've got some spare time, but I don't focus on what's in the book. You should use your own instincts, and that's why I was so pleased when you said about the book you were keeping it fairly short.
it is. It's very
um,
basic. It's like a paragraph. Some of the cards in the life pack have a double meaning, so you have the upright interpretation and the reverse, but not all the cards, because when you
Absolutely.
look at the card, and you'll understand when you get the booklet. So, but Dorney's just asked,
Yeah.
what's the cut-off date to all of them? I think it's October the 11th, but I will be sending an email to Crowdfunder to ask if we can extend it, because we'd like to get the cards as quickly as we possibly can for everybody, so they've got them by at least Christmas. So the idea is you pre-order the cards. Once we've reached our target, then the money gets sent to the printers. They then print them. We get them about 8 days afterwards. We're saying 10 to be on the safe side. Then obviously I have to send them out to everybody as well. So yes, they are expensive, but they're unique. They've been designed by myself with the input from Sarah Andrews, who's an angel specialist, as you all know, who's on our channel. Just working with her and other people, including the VIPs. We have tested them with Nick, with Stace, and last night Christine Davies, our reviewer, she was giving readings using the cards. So they've been fully tested to see how they would work. So without further ado, Nick, what I'm going to do
Let's have a look. Yes.
is have a look. This is one of the cards out of the 60 odd that we had to dwindle down to 3, and there was a bit of a debate at one point, which was really interesting because you could see the passion coming out in each card. So here we go.
Oh, hello, look at you. And once again, it's that depth of detail and the information that you could find. So everyone at home, what do you think that card means? Because sometimes, as I was saying, and cutting back to Joy's comment and what Richard said, too much text and numbers can lead you down a different path. But with just an image, it can really, really, really make a difference and make you work a little bit harder as a medium too. And the joy about cards is that you can give yourself a reading. Julie has just said, enjoyed last night's Zoom. Really hard to choose the cards. They all look good. They are amazing. So, number one, what are your thoughts on that card there? What do you think that card would mean? Serendipity 589 says guidance, perhaps. Yes, I can see that, absolutely. Passing down knowledge from Kelly Roquette, very good. Yeah, I would agree with that one as well. What else do we all think? Amanda Banks says motherly or nurturing. Absolutely. Yes. Dawny Walden's family support. Completely agree. And this is the thing. I don't think that there's any that I could probably disagree with, because that's the joy of a blank card. Nolene Parker says guidance from the heart.
What was mentioned last night, you can see the card, it's an angel talking to a young child, or posing for a picture, depends how you look at it.
Yeah.
Could it be that they're in the spirit world and she's given her book of her life to say, this is now your new chapter, you're just about to go to the earth plane and you're going to begin again, but this is what you've done so far. Could it represent that as well? A new beginning, a new chapter for someone.
Now, that's the image for me is a little bit tiny, so I can't see.
Hold on one second.
Is the child holding the book?
Yes, she is, yeah.
See, here's the other thing from another perspective, because as I look and see that the child's holding the book, could it be that old adage of out of the mouths of babes? Is it oh, thank you, that's brilliant. Yes. Could it be that the child is actually helping to give education themselves and sharing knowledge. That old adage of out of the mouths of babes, bringing forward that fact that the youthful generations can be educators to us all as well. It's just so beautiful. Or it could be a family album, like you said, the Book of Life.
Okay, so that's that one there. Then we're gonna. This one was a bit of controversial last night.
We do like a bit of controversy.
Yeah, and we had to go back and forth because there were two cards that people couldn't agree on. So it was back and forth, people giving their views, and so forth. So it was this one here. Bear with me. Everybody else can see it, Nick, but not you yet.
I can't yet. I'll catch up with everyone. But once again, your thoughts at home. What do you? Oh, hello. Yes, I see it. Wow. Yes. So, Richard, what was the controversy?
Was it like what we had was power of energy, like the phoenix from the flames, come and reborn, rebirth, energy. And then someone else was sort of a very similar card, and so yeah, it was more back and forth. But this got the more votes at the end.
Yes. Wow. Now that is gorgeous. Now again, my friends at home, what are your thoughts? What do you see? Is it rebirth and energy, or the phoenix from the flames? Is there something else that you can see in there? For example, just whilst it's still on the screen before I get it shrunk down to see your comments, for me, I can see universal strength and support behind this being, that they're hanging out there in the middle of this great void, and the energy is actually coming from behind them to support them. And although there's a little bit of difficulty and struggle in the lower half there, that support from behind is what's keeping them afloat. That's how I would, for example, interpret that. But let's see what everyone else at home thinks. What are you seeing in that card, my friends?
Okay, there's been comments coming from. Just a quick question from Mavis here. She's asking, she goes, thank you, these cards are beautiful, thank you very much. Do old HPs get concession rates? Sadly not. No one gets any discount. But what we are doing for VIPs is that if they do purchase, pre-order, they will be entered into a competition where they would get their money back. Okay.
Wow.
Because we just can't, SPTV doesn't have the funds to go out excuse me, and purchase all the cars and take a risk of losing money. So if we don't get enough money, the cards will not be produced. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Right. So
this is really important, actually, because it's a crowdfunder, and because it's the purpose of the crowdfunder is to get them up and running. If there aren't enough orders, these cards will remain forever digital. And that would be a shame, especially having shared my views on physical, tactile needs. So yeah, we really do need enough orders to get them up and running, because it would be such a shame not to have a physical pack in your hand. Amanda Banks says power. Very good question, though, Mavis. Thank you for asking it. Katie Brindley says it's very spiritual. Dawny Walden, finding your own inner peace. Beautiful. What else have we got? Christine Davis says power and energy. You know, it's funny because when you squint your eyes and look away from something, you always get a different view. And now I've gone back to the small view, I'm seeing different things. Kelly Roquette says, I did see rebirth, but can also be ascending into higher consciousness. Absolutely. Tony Copin says, I see freedom from hard work. I'm with you on that. That's where I was seeing that crackly bit at the bottom. Shelley, hey Shelley. Shelley Stewart says, great opportunities coming. Eunice Spinks, enlightenment. Nice one, Eunice. Linda Brown, hello mum. Protection. That's another good one. Yes, yes, yes. Because that, yeah. Karen Bullitt, spiritual connection and growth downloads. Absolutely, yes. Kim Byrne, hi Kim. I feel the third eye is being activated with support from the divine. Wow, I'd love a reading of
Someone
those
else said
cards.
last night, the third eye, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, these are really amazing comments, actually. Anne McLennan says, "Angel looking over you to give you strength." See, from a distance, when it's tinier, it's almost like she's wandering through a garden because the little different colours look like little flowers. Joy Howell says, "Shine so bright." Absolutely, yes. That is amazing. Julie Caswell, I see. What do we give to the world in our lifetime? Do we use our power? Wow. Love it. Serendipity 589 Wonder Woman. Yes, actually, I get
So
that.
you can see there's quite a lot. So thanks for the feedback. I'm going to go because I'm just realising because we are finishing early today at 12 o'clock.
Yes.
So we're going to. We've still got Kate May
That
to do and other
third
bits and
picture.
pieces. So
Yes.
I'll show you the last one, then we can go for an advert break.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
then we do
This
some
this is
readings and
brilliant,
stuff.
though.
And so the last card is this one here. Yeah, your jaw's hanging down there, Nick. You might want to sort that out.
I can't see it very clearly yet, but I've got a funny feeling I'm gonna like it. Um, everybody knows that when the rather buff angel cards come up, I'm enjoying myself. Well, hello you. Wow, the energy in that sword. Is it a sword? Is it a sword or is it it's such a good job you can only see the top half of me. Is it a sword or is it a loincloth? That would be the first question. Once again, everybody, look in the background at the detail of these cards. Yes, you've got that rather handsome looking devil standing right in front of you. But look in the background, my friends. Look at the warping of the energy behind him. Look at the detail of that hallway of columns behind and the detail in the top half behind as well. There is so much that you can be drawn to. So what are your thoughts on this one, my friends? And once again, as with the last one, I think the variety of difference proves that you were right, Richard, to go without descriptions, words and numbers on some of the cards, because it allows, what was it we were saying earlier on about AI, our own personal creativity and our own connection to come through and shine through and develop ourselves. Kelly Roquette says, speaking your honorable truth and laying down the law, understanding there are consequences to your actions. Wow. Beautiful. I'm with Christine on this one, though. He can protect me. Yes, absolutely agreed. Amanda Banks says, courage. Yes, absolutely. Look at the variety of the information that everyone's getting, though. Shelley Stewart, all you need to do is grab the opportunities in front of you, take a chance, and clear the fog. Wowza. Tony Copins, I'm feeling it saying the person needs to cut the cords. Absolutely. Once again, that comes back to taking chances and ownership. Katie Brindley, I've left something behind and now I'm taking my control back. It feels to me they are back to themselves. Wonderful. Look at the difference and the variety just by removing a few letters and numbers. Amazing. Eunice Spinks, divine strength. Absolutely, yes. I would see that in there too, especially with the glowing object in the front there. Absolutely brilliant. Couple more of these, and then I think it's about time we had a bit of Kate May and some adverts. But this has been amazing. Well done, everyone. Thank you for the feedback. Dawny Weldon says the inner energy to illuminate your own determination and strength. Yowza, well done, love that. And Anne McLernan, protection, absolutely, absolutely. My friends, this has been amazing. I love it. Kelly Roquette says, "Oh, I can see it on my TV now, and I see more." And this is the thing: when you're getting closer, you can actually see more. Joy Howell says, "Never give up." Maybe this card then is a reading about these cards
What
themselves
I'm going
for
to
Richard.
do for you,
Um,
Nick, for you, I'm going to just on this one card only, because obviously we are running out of time, so I'm going to be very, very quick. It's just to point out people when, as Kelly said, when you zoom in, you can actually see a lot more. So what I'm going to do
yes.
is allow you to zoom in for you, so then you can see. Give me a few seconds. There we go.
Yeah, absolutely. There you go. Look at the detail. Absolutely, yes. And this is what I was talking about, not only looking behind, but look at the details. For example, on the waist buckle, for want of a better term, I can see a lion head. If you look on the, as I'm looking at it, left hand, there's a small knuckle pauldron over the first two fingers. There looks like there's a face in there, and I would say that that face is of a hooded figure. So someone who would perhaps be in the. Thank you, Richard. So from that angle, this hooded figure, perhaps seeking protection from the elements. Going up, there's the world in that chest buckle. That button shaped thing that I would call a buckle myself. Um, there is so much more detail, and look as you go here, two angels over in the background glowing. If you look like more or less at a 45-degree angle from the top of his head, where the two columns like ledges
If
are in
you
the background.
if you look at the helmet, it reminds me of an owl, and I believe owls are messengers. You know, if you look at Harry
Yes,
Potter, for example, then
absolutely.
the owl brings in the messages, the letters. So there was
Yes.
a TV show, and I can't think, a cartoon from the 80s, um, that gave me the inspiration, the idea behind it all, the helmet side of things.
Fantastic. And look at the detail in all of that, though. This is what I was saying about having them in your hand. Come on, you've got to have them in your hand. But being able to zoom in like this as well is amazing. There's a Celtic pattern on the knee brace. So earthy Celtic interest. And just at the very top of that glow, there's the shape of two tears, or are they wings? And once again, there's a repeat of the beak in that as well. And then if you go all the way down again, more detail, more depth. These are just amazing cards, and the more you get into them, the more you see, and that's how to develop your own knowledge and use, from my view, of a pack of cards, is to actually get to know them, actually get to see what's there, and Spirit can make use of that. I think they are stunning, but I think they're also a really excellent tool for personal development of information. And certainly the comments that everyone has made proves that point. So if you are able to support by putting your name down for a pack, I think they are well and truly worth it, because they are just amazing. I love them. As Richard said, I've worked with them a couple of times now. There's always something new. And I did get a repeat of a card once, because we was using numbers to pick them. And I used the same card twice over that 2-week period. Completely different message. Completely different message. They are amazing. So thank you all for your comments and feedback. And Richard, thank you for coming on and having a chat about them as well.
You're welcome. Bye, everybody.
Dawney, He's off already. Look, Dawny says the helmet looks like an eagle head to me, which is a bird of strength. There you go again. The eye of the beholder, using your own creativity and your own experiences. Amazing stuff. So if you are able to support, please do come along. As Tony Copin says, they are stunning, and I totally agree with you. So if you can afford to support it, please do. You get a pack of cards out of it if we hit the target. So that's no mean feat. So my friends, time for some information about SPTV, on what's coming up tonight and in the next few days, and then your wonderful weekly update of the tarot scope from the gorgeous Kate May. So for as my friend Glenda is not here, roll 'em, Richard.
Join us at the Bognor Regis Spiritualist Centre for a captivating mediumship demonstration on Saturday the 11th November from 7:30 p.m. Experience an evening of connection with the spiritual realms, featuring the talents of Bill Hughes, David Hale and Caroline Johnson. For more information and to book tickets, please visit bognorspiritualistcentre.co.uk.
Nadija Bajami, a proficient strategic hypnotherapist, mind coach, grief educator, accomplished Reiki master, and gifted psychic medium, extends a warm invitation to join us on an exploration during a 4-week introductory mediumship course. As a special privilege, this extraordinary opportunity is being offered to our esteemed VIP members without any associated costs. Immerse yourself in the art of refining your innate talents and finding balance in communion with the realm of spirits. The course begins on Sunday, November 5th, at 7 p.m. via Zoom, and details will be placed in the VIP lounge. For more information on becoming a VIP, visit sptv.uk. Tonight from 6 p.m, Asteria joins us for an early evening of readings and live interaction with our viewers. Tomorrow from 6 p.m, SPTV Community Showcase offers our viewers the opportunity to have their own show, be it readings, their own thoughts and opinions, etc. Are you looking for some spiritual love or relationship guidance? If so, then join Jennifer Rose tomorrow from 8 p.m.
And we are back, and thank you everyone for that engagement. And you know, one of the bonuses about this pack of cards is that you can say that you were part of the process of creating them. So you've got your own personal touches in it, you know, especially with the VIP event last night on actually choosing cards. Linda Brown has just said, I bet Mum, for those that don't know, better order 2 packs because Mum wants a set, please, too. So I've got to order 2 now. There we go. That's good. One of the things that about cards I find useful is that you can give yourself readings because you've got that external input that gives you the direction without you being solely wondering if you're interfering with it. And the life deck, which is extremely unique to this pack, is something that can help us in our daily lives and give ourselves a reading at the same time as developing our abilities and using those cards for other people. So they really, really are great. Please, please, please do support it. They're amazing and I want one. So friends, let's see what Kate May has got to say. Now, before we do that briefly, just a reminder, it wasn't in the adverts, but unfortunately Minty's not on tonight. But you do have at 6 p.m. the lovely Asteria. Looking forward to that. I've got some free time myself tonight, so I'll probably tune in myself, so I'll see you there. But no Minty tonight, unfortunately. But for now, let's see what the stars have in store for us as we join the beautiful Kate May.
Good morning, everybody. Here's your week ahead tarot readings for the week from the 25th of September for each zodiac sign. My name is Kate May, Modern Day Mystic. You can catch me on katemay.co.uk, on social medias, Kate May, Modern Day Mystic for daily lives. Okay, Aries, week ahead. Oh, Three of Swords, Aries. This week could be a bit tough for you. It's going to be important that you release anything that is sad, that is hurting you, that is blocking you. Some of you might have blood tests or little mini things that you need to go to the hospital or doctors for a checkup. But in a nutshell, anything that's going to cause some pain or some heartache, this week it's going to be important to let it go and not hold on to it. Taurus, your week ahead. Ten of Swords, oh gosh, the whole week. Ten of Swords, Taurus, this is the end of difficult times. This is karmic ending, karmic changes. You may again feel disappointed or let down by somebody. You could feel that you've been stabbed in the back, perhaps, Taurus. However, this card indicates that that difficult time and period is coming to an end. It's time to close the door, accept what's happened, and start a new chapter. Gemini, Hierophant, don't rock the boat. This week, you don't want to do anything that's going to be too outrageous or make too many big changes, Gemini. Keep doing the things that make you feel normal, whatever a routine is for you. Look at groups and organisations, perhaps spiritual development groups might come in handy this week for you. Following the rules, regulations and conforming is going to be super important. Do as you're told this week, Gemini. Okay, Cancer, week ahead. High Priestess, trust your gut feeling, Cancerians. Things may not be as they seem to be, but deep down you know what is going on. Again, look for psychic signs, look for symbols, look for little perhaps butterflies or angel numbers, things around you. That, and as I said that, it said 144. Things around you that may let you know that the spirit world, those your loved ones, are close by. Look at developing your psychic skills. Leo. Happy ever after, Leo. This is a great week. Happy families, enjoying your time, feeling contented, feeling happy and successful. Everything that you've got is coming good for you this week, Leo. Enjoy family time. Virgo, the Strength card. You might have to bite your tongue this week, Virgos. You might have to hold it all together. The Strength card indicates deal with things in a tactful manner. Don't throw your toys out the pram. Deal with people and situations with love, with gentle handling. And like I said, bite that tongue, that you'll remain in the power that way. Libra, Magician, manifestation week, Libra. You've got all the tools to do the job. A great week to start new things and to give yourself a boost of confidence. Literally, you can manifest anything you want. You've got everything going for you, as above, so below. Libra, this week your dreams can become a reality, but action is needed. Scorpio, Hangman, you could be hanging around this week, Scorpio, dilly-dallying and just waiting for the next thing to happen. Perhaps you've got bigger ideas that need some sacrifices or letting go of the past in order to move forward. There is a bigger picture awakening coming for you, but at the moment this week, Scorpio, is just hang on in there and look at things that need releasing and sacrificing in order to move forward. Sagittarius, the Empress, abundance is yours, Sagittarius. Growth, nurturing, enjoy the weather, take some time out with your family, spend time in nature. Whatever you put your hand to this week though, Saggies, you've got a chance for it to grow. You've got abundant wealth coming your way, security, and just feeling comfortable and lovely. Capricorn, it's time to think about your plans. Capricorn, where have you been putting your energy? Where have you been putting your time? Have you been doing what you really wanted to be doing? This week is reevaluating things, reevaluating your time, reevaluating your energy and your money and where you're putting your time and energy. Thinking about, again, the bigger picture, thinking about what you want longer term, but pausing, reflecting over how far you've come. Have the patience. Something bigger and better is on its way to you, Capricorn. Just have some patience. Aquarius, good news is coming, especially around younger people. They could have some new ideas around making some money or job opportunities. The ground, Aquarius, is super fertile for you. It's ready for action. It's ready for new things. Think about new things, but also action them. Things don't happen unless you start actioning them. But some good ideas, some practical ideas are going to come to your mind this week. And Pisces, you're walking away from what no longer serves you. The past is in the past. You're going in a new direction now. You're finding yourself. This is a really positive card, Pisces. You know that you've had to make some changes recently and you should be making them, but it's going to take you onto a wonderful new path where you're really going to find yourself, and some spiritual enlightenment is coming. What no longer serves you, you're walking away from and you're going into the light. Have a great week, everyone.
Thank you, Kate. Love you. Bless your heart, and thank you for that. I hope you all got lots of uplifting things to look forward to coming out of that. And, you know, I think that's the important thing. Upliftment, joy, laughter, community. You can't fake that, and you can't create that. You have to work hard on it. And the community of SPTV does work hard on that. Welcome to the family, any newbies. We are one follower away from hitting 17,000 followers. So please, if you are new, if you are watching for the first time, please follow SPTV. Like now. Sorry, likes. Is it like? It's like, isn't it? Because it's a page rather than a group. Wow. When regulars. Oh, right, I see. That's not good. So get involved, engage, join in. But this is the thing. We're one away from hitting 17,000 now. I remember that there was another target that we had that we actually managed to hit on the Monday show. It would be awesome to have a double whammy. If you are watching and you haven't followed, if you haven't liked, please, please do. Let's hit 17,000 in the next few minutes and break that record again. Please, that would be great. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, Richard, show me some faces, and I'm going to give out a few messages while we're at it too. Yes, we've got 2 new shows coming next month. Now, I did write some notes down, and I can't remember where. So Hannah McIntyre is going to be joining SPTV, promoting with a new show, and also a lovely lady called Jessica Deja. I'm usually terrible with names. So Hannah McIntyre and Jessica Deja are going to be joining the SPTV family, and that's next month. So another 2 new shows to look forward to. I'm sure many people this morning have seen the announcement from my very good friend Bill Hughes, who's going to be taking a break. I hope he has awesome times doing what he's doing, and I want to thank him for his time and his friendship. You know, I'm sure he'll be back at some point too. But definitely look forward and look out for Hannah McIntyre and Jessica Deja and their new shows, which are coming up in October. Mavis says, oh, I just missed that. He's going to go back. Don't worry, Mavis. Mavis McDonald says, this is my 3rd time. I had 2 ladies before. So that Debbie Romero and a guest. So there's always something going on, Mavis. There's different shows at different times of the day. For instance, this evening, we've got Astaria at 6 p.m. I'm usually on with another co-host. At the moment, it's the lovely Karen Woods joining me for the next couple of weeks. And then Glenda Marie, psychic medium from Australia. She is another co-host of this show on a Monday morning, just to start your week off with a bit of spirituality and chat. There's always something new going on. Minty May, although he's not on tonight, is usually on a Monday. There's some really, really great shows that I truly recommend. And Danny Peacock has just liked your page. Richard, does that mean we've hit target? Oh, that's a like and not a follow. Right. So the follow and then the unfollow, so it does fluctuate. But I tell you what, Kaylee Byrne, good morning. Hello, Kaylee, good to see you. Let's give out some messages, and hopefully we can get that. Yeah, Sarah Tink Weston, definitely going to miss Bill, but I'm sure he'll be around and back. Once you've got in your claws, you never lose them for good. Mary Care, Richard and Nick, good day. Please may I have a card? Thank you. Never had a message. Mary, over to you. I've just picked up one, and it is, I'm using my mythic oracle cards today. And today I'm going to share with you the card Achilles. In spite of the, oh, sorry, it was too close to the camera. There we go. Is that better? There we go. That is Achilles. In spite of the fear of such a card, you know, especially with Achilles' heel, this card actually represents glory according to the words. But as I said earlier on with the other cards, so this is for you, Mary Kerr. You may have never had one, but you've got one now. There is a lot going on around your life at the moment. It feels like there's this temporary pause in your life. There's been a lot of battle, a lot of thank you. There's also been what I would believe a lot of heated debate going on around you. And it's almost like you're in this momentary pause. And it's for you to decide whether to continue fighting or whether it's time to take the weight off your heels. Literally Achilles' heel, but thank you. Take the weight off your heels and have a proper rest, because I do feel that you need that moment, that pause, to reflect and consider, to decide whether you wish to continue this heated debate, this heated battle, or whether you just want to say enough is enough. You've said your piece, you've made your point. Sometimes people don't listen, and I do feel that this is important. Sometimes people will not listen to the advice that they are given. And I certainly feel that there is a younger gentleman stepping forward with you in relation to this, wanting to give you a little bit of support and advice and guidance on this. As he steps Thank you. As he steps forward, I'm feeling a little bit of nausea with him. I do feel very dizzy with him. So I do feel that this would have been something that he would have experienced. I said younger. I would say probably no older than early 40s. He feels younger than me. But there is this maturity and wisdom about him. So if I'm off on the age, it's because of his attitude rather than physicality, because he would definitely have been an old head on young shoulders. He was, in his own way, thank you for anyone who's read the book, The Way of the Peaceful Warrior. He was a peaceful warrior. He would be able to fight his corner, stand his ground, but still manage to create that balance of, yeah, I like the guy, even though he's disagreeing with me. And it's this kind of personality that wants to shine through for you with that advice and guidance, and perhaps the way to deal with this heated debate, this burning conversation that's going on around you. But I do feel that it's time to take the helmet off and put the shield down. You've said your piece, you've stood your ground. Now's the time to take a step back and recharge your batteries, because one thing, Mary, I do feel that he's giving me is that you will burn yourself out in order to help people, but you won't be able to help people if you burn yourself out. So find that balance, have a bit of a break, have a bit of a rest. This young man, who he's not really giving me too much, unfortunately, about a relationship, but I do have this sense of love and respect for you. I do feel, because he's not giving me a lot about a relationship, there's a bit of distance. So I would say this is either someone that you would have worked with or someone that you would have been acquainted with, rather than being a family member, or there would have been a reason for that distance different to that. But I can only interpret the feeling that I've got with him on that, because he's not giving me that much more. But I do know that there is this wealth of support for you. And he wants me to mop your brow, I think that might be some kind of memory link there. But he's got your back, whoever he is. And I'll say, Mary, I hope that was all right for you, and God bless you. A lot of support there, but take a break, doll. Take a break. There we are. Have we got that final follow, Richard? Gonna have and see. No. Come on, there's got to be someone out there who hasn't followed yet. Give us a follow. We want to hit the target. Danny Peacock, first time on here. Let's give you a card. And here he is. There we go. This is your card. And it is Chiron, or healing. So Danny, listen up, because it's time to start giving yourself some healing. You spend all your time healing everyone else. And once again, a little bit like, but for different reasons, the last reading, you have got to stop putting everyone else on a pedestal and recognize just how much people love and support and need you. I know that with this card, there is a lot of mystical energy involved. So I do feel that this is, so it's easy to say mystical energy when people are all, you know, spiritual, but not necessarily. You're more earthy, more traditional, more focused and loving of these one. There's a thank you. There's a connection to Native Americans with yourself. Oh, Mary, thank you, Nick. Yes, exactly what I need, and you're so right. Oh, bless your heart. Thank you for the feedback, Mary. God bless you, my love. Keep fighting, but rest first. Thank you. With Danny, I know that there is this interest in the earthier side of this way of life and those aspects of it. I'm very much feeling a Native American influence from spirit with you. I don't give guides out, especially in an environment like this, but I do know that there would be a pre-existing interest. And I also have to say a wolf headdress as well, but that's for something else. I'm sure you'd be aware of that. But with this, obviously, Chiron is half man, half horse. Anyone who's watched Harry Potter would know that they are very mythical beasts. So there is this interest in, you know, the past. Thank you. And this is where this need to help everybody else before yourself comes from. It's from your past. And I know we've spoken, numerous people today have spoken about past traumas preventing their social skills. You've still got your social skills. You are very sociable as an animal, but perhaps too social. You need to think about yourself and bring in that self-healing. But also something we say on a Thursday night when we give out that the hands-on healing during the service is that the first and greatest gift is to ask for healing for yourself. It's the hardest request, but it's the most important, and it should be praised. And you need to ask for that support, for that help, for that healing, and give yourself a chance once again, just like Mary, to recharge the cells, recharge the batteries, recharge your soul, because it can be very difficult sometimes when you get lost in that moment of worrying about everybody else, when in actual fact they'll be worried about you because they can see right past you. In actual fact, I'm being told there are a number of people around you in your earthly life that have got a great deal of interest in quizzing you all the time about how you're feeling. It's because they know you, they love you, and they want to provide that comfort and that healing. So you're a great person for wanting to help everybody, but don't forget you can help more people by helping yourself as well. So don't leave yourself out of your healing prayers, whatever you do, and explore that mythical interest as well. I do thank you. As much as there's a male on this card, I'm also very much aware of a lady stepping forward with you with big hair. And I've got to say, she had the volume. I mean, I've got this new stuff in mind. It's still quite flat, but she had the volume, you know. And I almost want to go back to that 80s more hairspray than hairstyles, where it was all up and puffed and gorgeous. You know, the 80s was great for hair. I don't care what anybody says. So I want to look around about the 1980s. She had big hair. And she was actually, that she's pointing out the crossed arms. She was a very determined, very stubborn lady. I am feeling motherly with this lady, not necessarily as an earthbound relationship, but in attitude and behaviors towards you. She was very supportive and encouraging of you. She would always make sure that you looked after yourself. She did have a habit of behaving just like you, though. But she's showing me the big hair because it's time to enjoy yourself. It's time to get out and smell the roses and have a bit of fun and enjoy yourself and experience that self-healing that way. So I hope that helps, Danny. Take this lady's love and the big hair and just go. She's sprinkling sparkles in her hair as well, so I don't know whether she had a thing for glitter, but I'll give and of course there's sparkly on the horse there, but yes, there's sparkly in the hair as well. So take her love, take her upliftment, and please ask for help, support, and healing. And Danny, I'll say God bless you and hope that helps. Wow. Have we hit the target, Richard? Please tell me some. We've not. So we may have done, and the stats haven't caught up yet, or we may still be one short. Well, you've got 24 hours. Everyone, if you're watching and you haven't already, please follow and let the world know that SPTV is here. It has been an absolute. Oh, bless you, Danny. Thank you. This lady is my mum. She passed over 3 years ago. Bless you. She's very much in the mood to let her hair up and down and get you enjoying yourself. So thank you for that feedback, Danny. It's very much appreciated. And take her love and her support and go and enjoy yourself and, you know, have some fun healing. There's also, so she's back. Danny, I just got to also tell you, there's something about some kind of heat source, heat therapy. I don't know whether it's sunbathing or a sunbed or some, but I just feel heat all around my head, specifically behind me as well. So there's that too. It's just a memory link that I'll throw in there for you, and I'll say God bless you. And in actual fact, I'll say God bless to all of you. Thank you all so very much for joining SPTV this morning. I hope you've enjoyed the conversation as much as I have. Don't forget that we've got Astaria Dream at 6 p.m. tonight. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be great. I'll be joined next week again by the lovely Karen Wood, who's stepping in for Glenda. So look forward to seeing you all again next week. Do support SPTV. Do have a look at those cards. Have a bit of a play with those cards. We all want to play with those cards. So do join in with the ability of, if you can, put yourself down for a deck. And hopefully we can make this happen. Oh, Mary, thank you. This gent is my brother that passed in 1975 at 21, but was wise for his years. You've made my dear in SA. Oh, bless you. Mary, thank you for your feedback. That is so kind of you. And Danny, you're welcome too. Thank you all for your love, your support. Thank you for your messages as well while I've been off, because it really did help get me through, even though I was a bit quiet. Make the most of it, because she's back, baby. But for now, thank you to my lovely friend and producer Richard for getting me through, guiding me, keeping me on the straight and narrow. It's never an easy task for anybody. But to you all at home, thank you. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon. God bless. Keep safe. May the spirit go with you. See you next week.